So another shift, another time to go vertical, and this time is for our brother firefighter from Ladder 25, the part of the Westside in Manhattan, Paul Ruback. This is dedicated to his wife Lynn and 6 children: Paul, Danny, Denise, David, Gina, and Shannon. So this is your climb, dedicated to Paulie, the gentle giant of Ladder 25. Taking our brother to the very top. This is the 343 commitment, and still counting. 110th floor, memorial stair climb. With honor and respect, we're going to the top. The 289th climb, with 54 brothers left to take to the top. So we're just about to kick off that first vertical of 7 total verticals. We'll get to the 101st floor, and 9 floors after that, the 110 will be completed. So right now, for our brother, Paul Ruback, Ladder 25, part of the Westside, there in Manhattan, housed with Division 3 and Collapse Rescue 1. Taking him up all the way to the top, to the 110th floor, symbolically being carried there for his wife and 6 kids. It said that our brother was 50 years old on 9/11, and the last place he was seen was in Tower 2, attempting to rescue someone. We will never forget the sacrifices that were made so that others could live. The worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, with the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, heroism, and valor that was shown, both on and after, which followed in the recovery, the ground zero, with the ants still counting. Those who worked the pile for days, weeks, and months until the effort was declared complete. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor memorial stair climb for firefighter Paul Ruback, the Paulie the Gentle Giant from Ladder 25, the pride of the Westside, Yosemite Sam, going all the way to the 110th floor. For our brother, right there, carrying him up to the very top with honor and respect for his wife, Lynn, and the 30 or so kids that they fostered, which they ended up adopting, David, Gina, and Shannon. For his love of basketball and soccer, love of the guitar. One thing I found, our brother was a very, as they called him, gentle giant there at Ladder 25, part of the Westside, in the upper part of Manhattan. Right now, this is his climb to finish his footsteps all the way to the top of the tower. This is why we climb, taking him up to the very top to show that 19 years later, we have not forgotten, but instead, we always remember their sacrifices, their families. We made a promise to never forget, and this is the way we keep that promise, by telling their stories, by climbing in their honor and running in their memory. Across the U.S., our brothers are carried vertical and run in 9/11 memorial stair climbs and memorial runs. They will never be forgotten. We do this for their families, for the FDNY, and for our country to know that we are keeping our promise. Our brother, Holly the Gentle Giant, was said to never raise his voice, always a calm soul, and it said that he was a great father. Doesn't matter if he was busy at work or not, when he would come home and the kids wanted to do something, our brother would give it his all, happily, to go there. It said he liked camping and going into the mountains, the Catskills mountains, and it said he went to the falls there at the Catskills. Right now, this is in his memory for his wife Lynn and children, Paul, Danny, Denise, David, Shannon, and Gina. He will never be forgotten. Your husband and father will always be remembered. This is why we climb, to carry their stories to the top, to keep their legacies alive. So 19 years later, they're not just a name on a plaque or a picture on a wall, but instead, their stories are being told. Coming to you live from the gym in Southern Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor memorial climb for our brother firefighter Paul Ruback from Ladder 25, Manhattan's part of the Westside, housed with Division 3 and Collapse Rescue 1. For our brother, known as Paulie the Gentle Giant, 50 years old. I believe what I read was he was about 6'4". Well, I'm 6'10", so he definitely was a taller person at 6'4". So here we go with the next vertical, all the way to the top. Taking each brother, one by one, another brother from the pride of the Westside, Yosemite Sam, taking his journey. Responded on 9/11/2001. The last place seen was Tower 2, where he was performing a rescue. Taking him up all the way to the top for our brother, the Gentle Giant. of ladder 25. Paul Ruback. Going there as we speak. This is why we climb. To tell their stories and to keep their memories alive. Taking them up. Coming up to the little break before the fourth vertical. Almost to the over halfway point in this 110th floor memorial stair climb for our brother, firefighter Paul Ruback, ladder 25, out of Manhattan, the pride of the Westside. Taking him up with honor and respect for the sacrifices that were made on 9/11/2001 within the initial 343 commitment before the end still counting will take their place. Those who work the pile at ground zero and succumb to 9/11 illness and cancers. God willing, on completion of the initial 343, I will carry as many of the ends still counting to the very top. Taking them up with honor and respect for the sacrifices made so that others could live. This weather is quite odd lately. It's about 95 degrees outside right now, when a few weeks ago we were barely in the 40s. So it's going to be an interesting spring/summer on the commitment. Taking him all the way to the very top to finish his footsteps. To get there, the 289th brother with 54 left to carry on completion of this 110 floors. Taking him up to that very top to finish his footsteps. And now we're going to get to the over halfway point on completion of this vertical. Carrying him up all the way to the top. This is why we climb in 9/11 climbs. This is why we run in 9/11 Memorial 5Ks. To keep their stories alive for their families, the FDNY, and our country. Dedicating this to the FDNY, off and on the line. Ladder 25, part of the Westside, with Division 3 and Collapse Rescue 1. This is your climb. Carrying him up. Finishing his footsteps to the top of the tower. This is why we do it. Another brother going to the top. Each and every one with their stories told. This is why the 343 commitment and still counting exists. Pushing our brothers to the very top. And now we're at the over halfway mark in this 110 floor climb. for our brother, firefighter, Polly, the gentle giant, Ruback. Taking him up with honor and respect. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor Memorial Stair Climb for our brother firefighter Paul Ruback from ladder 25, part of the Westside out of Manhattan. Yosemite Sam. Taking him up. Next step towards that next floor. This is the reason that we climb, to keep their memories alive. For our brother who was married to Lynn and had 6 kids. Paul, Danny, Denise, David, Shannon, and Gina. He ended up with Lynn. They ended up fostering about 30 kids, which it said that they adopted David, Shannon, and Gina into their family after fostering them. For our brother who loved basketball and soccer, loved camping, spending time with his family in the Catskills, and I believe it was the Cat's Grill Falls, from what I read, that they went to. My brother was very soft-spoken, known as a gentle giant around the ladder. Never to get into confrontations. Was able to talk people down when they were having a bad day. Right now, this is his 110 floors with honor and respect given for the sacrifice that was made so that others could live. Our brother's life goal was to follow his family's footsteps with the FDNY. Our brother was 50 years old at the time of response on 9/11. And right now, we're taking him up, finishing the third to last vertical with only 2 left, and then we reach that 101st floor. With each step closer to the next floor. Their story is told. They're always remembered and never forgotten. This is the reason we climb. To never forget. We made a promise to never forget. And this country is showing that it's forgotten. Those of us who will never forget, keep our brothers' names, stories, and legacies alive for their families, for the FDNY, and our country. Get my mask to clear up just a little bit. It is like super hot in here today. So 2 more verticals left. Back to the 101st. 9 floors left. And this 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Polly, the gentle giant, Ruback, will be completed. Taking him up. Coming up on that second last vertical as we speak. For our brother, Paul Ruback, housed with Division 3 and Collapse Rescue 1. There, the pride of the Westside, ladder 25. They're in Manhattan. Taking him up with honor and respect. Symbolically carrying him to the very top to finish his footsteps alongside me and the 288 brothers who've already reached the top floor. Pushing him up to the very top. Just about to come down the second to last vertical. And then that final push to the 101st floor. Taking him up. Coming to you live from the gym in Summer Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110 floors for our brother, firefighter Paul Ruback, within the initial 343 commitment. Taking our brother to the very top. One step at a time till we get to that next floor. Going there now. We're almost there. A little bit left. All right, this is the last area to rest it up a tiny bit before we make that last vertical to get us to the 101st floor. For our brother, his wife, Lynn, and his 6 children, Paul, Danny, Denise, David, Shannon, and Gina. Taking him up for his service to the citizens of New York with the FDNY. Our brother was 50 years old, responding on 9/11. The last place he was seen was in a rescue operation being conducted on Tower 2. Taking him up as we speak till we reach the very top. Coming up on the last little bit towards that last and final vertical to get to the 101st floor. Then it's only a short amount of time till we cross the 110th floor. Now we're just getting ready. Last vertical, here we go. Pushing them up to that last and final stop till the 101st floor. Carrying him there till we get there with honor and respect for our brother's sacrifice so that others could live. Taking him up all the way going towards that 101st floor. For our brother, who's going to the very top. Going there now with honor and respect. All the way to the top. Getting to that 101st floor. This is why we climb. To carry our soft-spoken brother, our gentle giant, Holly Ruback, to the top. For our brother, who was 6'4", and mind it, I'm 6'10", so I got a little height on him, but 6'4" is still pretty tall. Uh. 100 at first floor. Taking them up while we speak. Telling his story all the way to the top. For our brother, his wife of 20 years, Lynn, his 30 children that they fostered, to Danny, David, Gina, and Shannon, who they adopted as their own with their other children, Paul, Danny, and Denise. Taking them up almost symbolically to the very top. This is why we climb, to tell their stories, to keep their names alive, for their families, for the FDNY, and for our country. This is why we climb. Taking them up. The last few floors for our brother, firefighter Paul, Holly the gentle giant, Ruback. We're almost there. And the 289th brother to reach the top. Brother, firefighter Paul Ruback, rest easy. We got it from here.